Hey guys, good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? We have another investing trading day. So, like always, guys, my name's Jose Najarro. I'm here to just take a look at the market, see what's happening, take a quick look at what's really moving some of the stocks today. Like always, feel free to post questions on the comments below, and we can take a look at whatever stocks you guys want to start off with. So, give me a quick second, guys. Let me just finish setting things up, and we can get started with the day. Um, let's see how the market is doing right now. So let's just start off seeing how the overall market is doing. We have Dow. Pretty much everything is flat right now. We have Dow up 0.04%. We have Nasdaq 0.32%. And we have the S&P 500 0.19%. So nothing is really moving. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, David. How are you guys doing today? Hope everybody had a great day yesterday. So right off the bat, we can see again, big players up right now are what's going on, Ellie? The big players are the tech, right? And let me see, increase my mic. I don't know if it seemed to be down. Maybe you guys might have had some hard time hearing. So I don't know. But we can see, right, big tech, again, Apple up 1.2%. We have Amazon up 1.2%. Yesterday, it was crazy. This big player was up almost 4%, I believe. So we still see a lot of tech is up right now. So that's pretty good. We also have PayPal up 2% right now, and AXP. But besides that, those probably are the main fin markets that are up. Major banks are still down. JPM is down about 0.2%. Some other banks are also down here. So we can see still pretty nice for tech investors right now. Let me just take a quick look at my overall portfolio. I am a little bit more on the red, it seems, but it's usually my smaller players, right? We have Space right now. Space is down about 5%. This one is going to continue to be volatile. Skills, this one is also down about 5%. Those are the only ones. Then we still have our example, our Chinese stocks down. Huya's down 3%. Celsius is down a bit, but this one has been a monster for me. Nvidia finally not having a green day. This is a bit weird to see, right? Nvidia has been doing amazing. We can see though, this stock has definitely been it's a bit overextended. Something I've been talking about for the past. Unfortunately, one doesn't know when that pull down will happen. Is this the beginning of the pull down for Nvidia, or is it just going to take a quick breather and continue on? Anything up major right now? Let's see what's green for me. So we have Fiverr. Fiverr has been killing it. This one's up 2% today. Square is also killing it, up 2%. Then you have CrowdStrike, right? We keep hearing these talks about cybersecurity attacks. CrowdStrike is up 1%. Nothing really is. I'm assuming I'm gonna be mainly in the red today, especially with Nvidia down right now. So are there any stocks you guys want to take a look at? If not, let's see what's happening in the overall market. I mean, DD, this one is just not doing well, right? DD stock, it's down more today, down another 6.89% after another some application. What was the application? Let's pull this over here. After WeChat and Alipay apps for remove the application, right? So the stock is down another 6.89%. This is insane, right? In the past 5 days, the stock is already down 29.56%. It kind of sucks, right? Definitely sucks what's happening there. Let's see stock tweets. If we have anything trending. And guys, feel free to post any comments on the any stocks you guys want me to take a look at. So let's see. Amazon is trending, right? That's nothing major here, right? Apple up. We took a look at Apple. Hut. Which one is Hut? That's a mining corporation. I don't know why I was thinking Pizza Hut for a second. But yeah, nothing really is too exciting today. What else do we have? Anything important that we should know for the day? I know there were 5 things to mention. I was reading it earlier today. 5 things to know before the market opens on Wednesday. First, stocks look at a steady Wall Street. So that's pretty much what we've seen, right? Pretty slow day today. Bonios dip ahead of the afternoon release of Fed minutes. This was from last week's meeting, right? I believe so. I don't think it's too much information, but I guess the market is just patiently waiting. Mortgage demand sinks to lowest level since beginning of pandemic. So just because mortgage demand is decreasing doesn't mean home purchase prices are decreasing. They do mention the recent mortgage demands are sinking is just because house prices are too insane right now. So it's pretty crazy, right? So Didi, like we saw, Didi is removed from China's WeChat, Alipay apps for new users. And then satellite imagery company Planet Labs is going public. I'm not sure if any of you guys have heard of this one, Planet Labs. This is preparing to go public, merging with the SPAC in a deal with backings from Alphabet's Google, BlackRock, and Salesforce co-founder. Planet Lab is merging with DMY, which is currently under the ticker DMYQ. That's actually, we are a mature business and have massive new unique data sets of our 190 satellites. The largest Earth imaging fleet ever, and more than 10 times anyone else. Has anybody really followed this stock? The Planet Labs, this is actually pretty cool. I'm not too familiar with the space market, but maybe one I'm gonna start reading on throughout the summer, right? Is this when is the deal expected to close? And right now it does seem right. DMYQ, I'm pretty sure if we take a look at the stock price for DMYQ, come on, DYM. Let's see. I just want to see how it's doing after the news. Not even here. Huh, that's weird. Is it just that new of a ETF, right? Of a SPAC, I mean. So guys, like I said, feel free to post any stocks you guys want to look at. We can see Nvidia's now red. Micron Technology is still red right now. That one definitely took a nice hit after earnings. With the billionaires going to space, is going to be on top of people's mind. Very, very true. When is space flight? Virgin Galactic flight with the prepare on July 11th. That's insane, right? That is definitely insane. That's this Saturday, this Sunday. And when is Jeff Bezos Blue Origin flight? When is this one happening? Yeah, I was going to say Micron. I thought earnings was good. Give a nice boost, boy. Was I wrong? Like the 15th, I think. Yeah, Ellie. I do. Or Eli. My bad. Eli or Ellie. Eli. Let's just start E right now. I don't want to be wrong. So. They don't. I mean, all I'm asking for is a date. Google, can't you give me a date, Google? I just really like date. July 20th. Okay. Like the 15th, yeah. So we can see the 11th and the 20th. That's pretty insane. I mean, everybody's gonna have their eyes on both flights, in my opinion, and it's definitely bringing attention to just that market. Even though most of these space companies, right, David, they don't seem to be with the overall commercial travel. They're more like satellite imaging thing. I do believe overall is still bringing eyes, like you mentioned, to the market. So Micron, right? Micron, I do believe had very strong earnings, and I did a quick video on them. And right, we can see stock price is down 6% from its 52-week high. The stock has definitely seen better days. It's down about 17%. The first thing I'm seeing is now with these prices, it really hasn't moved for the past 8 months. So first thing is, this stock for me is definitely not overextended at all. Right, we can see right now it's definitely, I want to say this like mid 76 levels, plenty of volume, and you can see it's definitely acted as support. This is gonna, if I was to buy Micron, I don't think I'm planning on buying. If I was to buy around these levels, I feel is a good portion of the risk has been eliminated. Obviously, it can continue to go down One of the major reasons, right, E, that they mentioned Micron took a nice dip is people are kind of worried that that now prices of memory are going to start decreasing, and this is a very cyclical thing that usually always happens with Micron. They believe right now we're already at the tip of the pricing, which overall will affect their revenue. I do think it's still a bit too early for that, but analysts it seems are a little feeling a little different about it. But I do believe if I was to buy Micron at these levels, I wouldn't mind it. Not a big position, but definitely at least a position to get some exposure. Micron, a market I believe will continue to grow as the years progress. Some years it might be slow, but in the long term of things, it will do pretty good, right? Because you can see, 17, it was pretty quiet during 2017, just very volatile during this time frame until it finally broke out. ACG, Amazon to the moon. Yeah, I mean, Amazon has been killing it, and Amazon gets me excited for one reason, right? Amazon has been pretty, and I'm not much of a technical guy, but like I said, I do take a look at technicals to kind of at least reduce my risk a little bit. For the past year, since July, right, this stock has been trading right here. Even though it's been moving, right, it's been very volatile. It hasn't really moved out of this chain. It's finally broken out of it. And normally, like, that's a very bullish sign, for sure, especially if it doesn't pull back. And we've seen so many stocks kind of do a similar thing. I think one that's gonna take a nice move in the future is gonna be Netflix. I think these earnings might surprise people. But look, if we look at Netflix compared to Amazon, it looks very similar, right? So I do believe there is a huge potential that we might see a breakout on Netflix. This one has been, again, very quiet since July, very similar to Amazon. Again, none of it is advised, but just what I'm seeing, right? So Netflix looks pretty interesting right now. It is their earnings are gonna be July 20th, or yeah, July 20th it seems, of 2021. So in the next few days, in the next week, is it next week? Nope, 2 weeks from now. Earnings are back, and I'm super excited. I love earnings season. I love to see how companies are doing. So ACG, are you in Amazon right now? Excuse me, guys. Just needed to take a quick drink. So feel free, guys, to let me know any stocks you guys want to take a look at for sure. Let's see. I mean, Apple. I don't follow Apple. Let me take a quick look at Apple. Right. I mean, this one has kind of been trending upwards. Apple has been doing amazing, Raul. It's been quiet. See, this is why I believe a good portion of the risk gets eliminated when they're sitting around these moving averages. This is when I tend to buy pretty good. I do believe a good portion of the risk has been eliminated. So let's see. Anything? Skills is probably one I might look in for the upcoming week of stocks to purchase, but nothing really there. So on Apple's killing it a bit. Yeah, I mean, insane, right, David? Let's pull back Apple. This one has been doing amazing. We did see, right, I think from Micron's, let's take a quick look at Micron's investors relations. They did talk about how the mobile market is really growing in this upcoming quarter, right? This is why I love looking at Micron's earnings. Here they mentioned they mentioned the mobile achieved record MCP quarter revenue. Mobile unit sales are expected to show healthy growth this year, driven by an expected doubling of 5G units in the calendar year of 21 to more than 500 million units. So very bullish in the mobile market, especially the upcoming next quarters. This is when holiday season begins. So I can definitely see companies like Apple doing really well. Right now, right, it does seem a bit overextended. But does anybody know any major semiconductors in the 5G market? I know we have Qualcomm, right? So QCOM, looking, I want to say it definitely took a bit of a hit. Looking a bit interesting right now, not too overextended. And then we have Broadcom, right? I think those two are big in the 5G market. I could be wrong. I don't follow them too much. But again, not they haven't really moved much for some time, and they can they're sitting at their moving averages, which is good. ACG, nah, I'm not in Amazon. Love my Apple shares though. Nice. So is anybody purchasing out of curiosity? Is anybody purchasing any Chinese stocks at the moment? Any of the big players, right? Or is are you guys just staying away from them? It's pretty weird. And I don't know if you guys have watched. I don't care. I don't invest in what ARK invest in, but I do like to see what they do, right? And this past yesterday, they purchased two stocks that I felt were pretty weird compared to what they've been purchasing. They bought Disney yesterday and they bought Netflix. It's pretty interesting. I'm pretty sure they've been watching my live streams and they've heard me talk about Netflix and both Disney. So I'm pretty sure ARK is just watching, and I wait for Neo and Huya. Usamo, how's it going? So you're thinking of picking up some Huya? Huya, I definitely, I'm enjoying that one. I do have a good position. Neo is on. Last I saw it, it was actually green, but now it's kind of a little bit red. Neo hasn't really taken a big hit, right? If after this whole Chinese stock issue compared to some of the other players, right? But Neo has already taken a big beating before that. Maybe that's preventing it. I do like Neo where it's at right now. So Chris, should I sell Neo now? I'm looking months away from them counting as long-term gains for next year taxes. So Chris, I mean I think you should, if you're only 1 month away from them counting as long-term gain taxes, I think what you should do, and it might be a bit dreadful, try to see how much the cost of your tax. So it'll be like around 30%, right? I forget the actual number, but if it's short term movement, it's about 30% on taxes. So I would say how much, I would try to calculate how much that would be worth, and then see how, because for long term it's about 15%, right? I'm not 100% sure with the numbers, but double check me on that. But try to see how far or how low Neo would have to drop for it to make up to those long-term gains. So that might be a smart solution. See how much you would have to pay right now, kind of subtract that to where the cost basis would be at, and then do the same for like a month away from now. So that might be a smart way, and be like, hey, I don't see the stock going this much lower right now. Again, right? It all depends. It also depends on how much of a position you have. Um, right, Chris. If obviously, maybe we've seen a few people here who they've had like 40% in Chinese EV stock markets. So they had heavy exposure. So they kind of let go of some of their positions. If it's a smaller position, it doesn't really move your portfolio too much. Maybe it's not a bad thing to wait. If it is a big position, now that's a whole different story. Maybe even trimming a little bit could also be smart, right? There's so many things you can do. You don't even have to sell the whole position. Maybe just even trimming some can also clear your mind a bit, and you're still able to hold positions for in case the stock continues to go up. ACG, are you more interested in dividend plays after your video with the Decade Investor? I'm actually more. He was more of Decade Investor. I'm happy to have him. Right, super young, 23, six-figure portfolio, super impressive, and the mentality he had was great. I'm more interested now in more, just learning about more, not learning, but trying to maybe have more index or index ETFs, or see how they would react a little bit more. Maybe have a small portfolio of just ETF or index funds, and see how they move, right? Just kind of work with them. I want to find now someone very heavy in dividend investing, and really want to pick their brains. Decade was more of just a little bit of everything, but mainly more in index and ETFs. So Marcelo, you want to take a look at J&J and I do options, so I'm just waiting for Baba and PVP and PDD to keep going. Then I'll strike to keep going down. So do you normally do option spreads, or you do like single options? I personally, when I do options, I don't recommend options for new guys. Even for experienced people, right? Options can get really tricky. But for options, I do normally just do short-term spreads. Jose would like to know what his fave or top five ETFs are. For David Baker, if you're talking about Decade Investor, he had I think 6 ETFs, but he only adds into 3. 2 of them I think were just just global ETFs, and then one of them was VGT, which was the Vanguard Tech Market. So it's mainly just world markets, and that's pretty. Those are just like the simple index ETFs out there. I don't. The only ETF he had that was very market specific was VGT, and that's still very, I want to say, very broad. There was no individual ETF. So VGT, and if you ever like Vanguard, there's like VGT. So there's VGT. There's also Vanguard has so many. Vanguard, so you can do VNQ for Vanguard Real Estate. You can do VGT for Vanguard Information, VYM for Vanguard High Yield. Vanguard definitely has a nice amount of ETFs in market specific. You can even do VUG, which is Vanguard Growth ETF. Right, they have specific on just energy, on just value. So if you go to Vanguard's website, you can find a lot of the ETFs. I enjoy a lot of the QQ, like he also mentioned QQM or QQJ. So QQJ is like next generation ETF. This is more like an ARC style, but more, I want to say less volatile. I think we talked about it in the video. The QQJs, Invesco, they have a nice amount of ETFs as well, especially the new ones that are focused on the NASDAQ. So definitely pretty cool. So those are interesting for sure. So Ev, is NEO a buy right now? Let's take a quick look, right? I was taking a look at NEO, but let's take a look at NEO. First, let's just look at the overall fundamentals. I mean, still, even though it's seen a crazy correction, I feel NEO is still a bit overextended. Just because it is a bit overextended doesn't mean the stock price will go down. Overextension to me just tells me there is a bigger risk, a bigger chance of it happening. I mean, being a math guy, I really like to think of it in percentage wise. So I do believe NEO has a bigger risk of falling down right now, being it's overextended. That doesn't mean it's gonna happen. If I was to buy NEO right now, I don't have it in my portfolio. I don't think I've ever had NEO in my portfolio. This is one that I would buy with, like, right now with small position base. Small position, but even this is one that I feel with the overall Chinese stocks taking a hit right now, it's mainly just affecting companies that are dealing with applications, right? Digital ecosystem. Right now, NEO down for the overall news, I think, is just the overall fear of Chinese stocks. I wouldn't really put too much weight from that news into a stock like NEO, right? Obviously, you can, the short-term movements and just the overall consensus or feelings of how people are feeling about Chinese stocks can affect a company like NEO. But I don't think it should, right? I think it's more noise than anything. But for me, my favorite Chinese stock right now for EV is NEO. This is an EV market run. I like this one a lot. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it. It's I've talked about it a bit in a few videos. This is electric scooter. Right, electric scooters, they're mainly operating. Now they're also doing other stuff, right? They're doing commuter scooters, but they have mopeds, bikes, and stuff like that. Now they're moving into like electric scooters and more electric style bikes as well. I do see this becoming a bigger market international as well. Yeah, so I do think so, David. I mean, I do think Chinese stocks are still going to be affected, even though because of the news. Because of the news, right? So NEO is down 4.5%. That's a huge hit. I do believe a good portion is, I mean, the stock itself was a bit overextended. We've seen there was a huge hype before the numbers for their quarter two, I believe. Investors were expecting too much, and it really drove a nice hype on this stock. So I do believe it's a mixture of just that overhypeness and that and the overall Chinese stocks. So right, we can see NIO, which is also a Chinese company in EV market, is only down 0.68%. So I do believe it's mainly due to just the overall extension on the stock. Let's see some other players there. Let's see JD. How is JD handling right now? 0.34%. Let's take a look at Baba. Baba is down 0.62%. So the overall Chinese market is definitely not as bad as it was yesterday, but it is still a bit down. I do follow an ETF there. Let me take a look at my ETFs. So here I have my ETFs, and there is one. Let me see, KWEB, Crane Shares of China's Internet. This, if there was an ETF I wouldn't mind buying right now, it would be this for long-term investments. Would be Crane Shares. So this is just in. I feel it's taking a nice beating with the overall news. This is a huge ETF with multiple internet stocks in China. Again, we all understand Chinese risk and stuff like that. So obviously what I like doesn't mean you should like it. But if there was a way for me to increase my exposure, this wouldn't be a bad way. Let me take a quick look at some of their holdings, right? So KWB Holdings. I don't think they have like really big ETFs. Let's see. KWEB. Let me take a look at their top 10 holdings. So Tencent owns 9%, Alibaba owns 9%, Meituan owns 8%, Pinduoduo owns 6.6%, JD is 6%, Bilibili is up 4.5%. So we can see the big names are definitely here, and these are the ones that are taking a bit of a hit right now. So at least something to keep on the watch list right now. Usama, they also want to release an electric motorcycle later this year. Usama, is that NIU, N-I-U? So, yep, let's see. And guys, while you're here, make sure to hit the thumbs up. It really does help with the overall channel. It means so much. And also, let me know if you guys want me to take a look at any stocks right now. Is there any new news in the market right now? I don't think anything. Today seems to be a pretty quiet day. Which is shocking, right? Very shocking for sure. There's not really anything moving the market. Let's see. Goldman Sachs, these stocks. I don't have Pro. I don't have money like that. Thoughts on OSS? All right. So Gordon, we can take a look at Palantir, and David. We can thoughts on OSS. So I do like it. David Becker, OSS is still one of my favorite microcap companies. I did mention on, I think I purchased on them, Playmax. It's usually, I want to say it's probably quiet due to the meeting layer, but I thought these were just going to be the minutes. So I don't think there's going to be much new information. But regardless, I guess investors are still a bit quiet due to it. Playmax. But David Becker, right? So thoughts on OSS? OSS, I did mention in the Discord channel, and if you guys feel free to join the Discord channel, it's free to anybody that wants to join. I post every time I buy and sell. I've been investing over time, but every week I add only a few $100s to the market. Try to add as much as I can, and it has helped me build up my portfolio to where it's at right now. OSS, it's a very small microcap company, right? David Becker, super small, less than $200 million. I enjoy it, but I do understand there's risks behind this stock. So I think I mentioned that I did my last purchase on this. So I'm only trying to keep this around 1% of my portfolio, but I do believe this has the potential of being a big winner in the future. So I did get in at very low prices at $3, but I've been purchasing at these levels as well. Yeah, so that's why. But at the same time, Playmax, I feel like investors are still quiet because of it. I can't see another reason, right? We saw Finviz right now. The overall market is just pretty much flat. Is there nothing to talk about today? Is there nothing really affecting the market? So it's super super quiet, and I'm not gonna lie, the quietness kind of keeps me on ease. I'd rather have some form of volatility and know what's happening than have nothing and not know what's happening. Um, but we can see right now the market is pretty much flat. Dow 0.25, Nasdaq 0.13, S&P 0.07. This is one of the quietest days I think we've seen in like a long time. Let's take a quick look at how maps are looking. Right, we still have big players. Apple and Amazon are still up big. Semiconductors, Micron is taking a nice beating. It's down about 2.2%. I do believe this is 15-minute delay on the maps here. Starbucks is killing it like always, 1.1%. This one's doing pretty good. This is weird. Energy and oil are down, but I thought I read somewhere. David, really, what are some of your watch lists right now? Let me also take a look at my watch list. So I do have a watch list. I add stocks over time. We have Pubmatic down 6.27. We have, what else do we have? Lemonade is down 5%. CCIV is down 4%. Abs, I'm not gonna lie, I'm happy. Abs, good morning. Rough day, Polly. Really, man. I don't wanna David, share some. These stocks right now, Lemonade, I have to add them in my watch list if I don't have them. These are watch lists of stocks in my that I don't have in my portfolio, but don't mind keeping an eye out. So I do have Redfin, CRNC. Oh man, CRNC is down there. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. ChargePoint. All right, I didn't have that one. So we can definitely a lot of, but of course they've had run-ups for sure, right? Most of these had a nice run-ups. Apps is still one. Tomorrow is my day of purchasing. Apps is I do believe it's gonna finally enter my portfolio tomorrow, and it might be at least a nice decent size to start off with. So that one looks pretty good for me. Let's see. So Etsy is down 2%. Gravity, man, this one has taken a hit. This one, wow, that one for sure is at $99. Airbnb. Oh, Airbnb. I don't think I have that one here. I need to. Airbnb is one I want to keep an eye out on. So let me add Airbnb into this. I don't know what SKT is. I'll add that in here just to keep a look at it, David. Neo, I don't have it here. Maybe I should keep an eye on it. LZ, Jose, that is insane, Ed. That's amazing. You bought apps at 11 after my first video. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't get into it. At that price points, I guess I didn't have enough funds, and then after that, it's just been running like crazy. VTRS, what is this one? I don't think I've heard about it. But LegalZoom, is this the company where LegalZoom.com? This is interesting. They just went IPO. I've used them a few times with my crazy business ideas that I've done throughout the my lifetime. LegalZoom has been pretty fun to use. But that's pretty interesting. I'll probably take a quick look at them. I don't know if that would be a market I'll be too interested in. Vitress, I'm not familiar with this one, David. But that might take a look at that one. Or SKT, Airbnb for sure. Airbnb is looking. It's one I'm really thinking about as well. It might make my list pretty soon. But we can see. Tattoo Chef is also down 3.2%. This is, I mean, you can see, right? I do believe a good portion of the risk has been eliminated now. But Tattoo Chef is killing it. Earnings are not going to be till September 1st, though. So we still got some time. Oh, I forgot. Gordon, are you still here, Gordon? You wanted to take a look at Palantir, right? If Gordon, you're still here, we can definitely take a look at Palantir. Regardless, I want to just see what's happening. So Palantir stock is down 6%. Man, this one's taking a hit. Why is it taking another hit? I know earlier last week, a lot of people were selling off due to the Kathy Kathy Wood effect, right? She either blesses a stock or she unblesses a stock. I don't know what the curses is that the word? Yeah. Remember last week or the week before? She supposedly sold out. I forget how much of a position. Um, so we can see in the past 5 days, this stock is down 12.5%. In the past month, it's down 5.1%. In the past 6 months, it's down 7.2%. It all depends on when you invested, right? But looking at the beginning, um, did she sell out year to date? It's pretty much flat. So this is, but in the past year, right, from its IPO price, it is up. Was this a SPAC? Was Palantir a SPAC? I don't remember. I really don't remember. Or was it really was it a true IPO? But regardless, it's up 144% in the past year. So a lot of investors could be like, hey, I invested earlier on, so I don't mind if it's quiet right now. If we take a look at technicals, I already know what I'm gonna see. It was a true IPO. Thanks, Gordon. Just when I see normally that 10 price point, it automatically takes me to thought process of a SPAC. But we can see right now plenty of volume where it's at right now. So I do believe a good portion of the risk has been eliminated right now. We can see a lot of volume here sitting next to a short-term, medium-term moving average. In form of short-term, I do believe a good portion of the risk has been eliminated. Obviously, the stock can continue to go down. I believe the chances of that happening are pretty low. But if we take a look at fundamentals, right? Let's open up Simply Wall Street here. And let's take a look at Palantir. Palantir looks pretty strong, if I remember correctly. Strong future growth, right? They are expected to grow their revenues 25.2% on average for the next 2 to 5 years. They are positive in cash flow from operations, and they kind of really achieved that right now. This is taking a look at trailing 12 months. For the first time in March 30th of 2021, and analysts expect from here on out it's going to be positive. So fundamentals, and this is what you normally like to see in software companies, right? Software companies, they tend to take their sweet time to become GAAP earnings profitable. Their sweet time. But that's why I prefer to really look at cash flow instead. Cash flow from operations looking pretty strong, and they are expected to continue. As long as that cash flow from operations stays positive, I would be very happy with Palantir. If we take a look at their financial health, right, they have $2.3 billion in cash and about barely 200, not even $200 million in debt. So fundamentally looking pretty good. They have plenty of cash to survive. They are also positive in cash flow from operations, so they don't even need to really worry about their balance sheet to some extent. I want to take a quick look at ownership. So ownership, general public owns 67, institutions own 16, individual insiders own 10.0. So we can see the co-founder and chairman owns about 7.36% of the business. This is a big market cap, $46.4 billion. Let's take a look at one more thing. Let's take a look at Y charts. Morningstar gives Palantir a fair price at 25. And it seems, right, I believe that's them giving it a nice safe bet. I don't believe the stock price, it will stay around those levels, and it might be quiet for some time. Right, I mean, a lot of growth is expected for this company, so it might be, who knows, it might be quiet for the next few months. Like we can see, it's been very volatile since November, but in reality, since November, the stock price hasn't moved. It's just that volatility. So this could be something like Amazon or Netflix, where it's just kind of building up that base. And as long-term investors, sometimes you want that, right? You want to build up that nice volume base in case of for the next run-up. You, Gordon, you say 3 years, Palantir for 3 years. As a long-term investor, I don't have it, but if I had very high convictions and what I'm seeing right now, I wouldn't even blink an eye with what's happening. I just want to say, I think one of the biggest bearish thesis is just this company's, let's look at this, open image tab, their price to sales ratio, and their price to sales ratio is actually not that bad. We'll take a quick look at that. Let me take a look if they have EV to EBITDA forward. Nothing good to look at. But right, their price to sales ratio is about 22.63. That's still pretty high for a software company, right? Most software companies pre-COVID, they were sitting around like the high 10s or like in the 10s or the low teens. Like that's where a lot of people wouldn't mind software stocks. Now it's kind of crazy, right? 22 a bit high. Definitely has been better buying opportunities for Palantir. I would say anytime it gets on the teens in forward price to sales ratio, it was at 18 around here. That's a very, very, I want to say, a nice aggressive buy period. So I want to say this is probably the biggest bearish case is their valuation, and a reason why the stock may not move for the next 6 months until valuation or in terms their fundamentals finally reach where they're at. So Palantir, I just want to take a look at any recent investors relations news. This is another thing I would do, right? I don't have any positions in Palantir, but what do they mention? So let's see, investors relations. Let's take a quick look at news. The FAA selects Palantir for aircraft certification safety monitoring solution. This was a few weeks ago, right? Palantir recognized with Amazon Web Service Global Public Sector Partner Award. CDC renews partnership with Palantir for disease monitoring and outbreak response. Palantir awarded $111 million of contract to provide mission command platforms for the United States Special Operations Command. So we can see in just the past 5 weeks, they've talked about either new certifications, new partnerships, or new contracts. So we can see this is definitely a company that's continuing to grow. So for sure, one I might start looking at this one as well, Gordon. This is one I should add to my watch list, and I hope that helped out a little bit. Like you mentioned, you're a long-term holder, so I think you were more just looking at other investors and what they think. Not really to change your mind, but just see stock is down 6.69% today. This is one I might actually do a video on today. So thanks, Gordon, for that idea. Palantir is a very popular one. So people, any other stocks you guys want me to take a look at right now? Let's see. Anything happening in the market right now? It's so crazy, right? I mean, obviously, I prefer the quiet days for my portfolio, but in form of content creation, it's obviously better if something is happening in the market. But nothing is really going on. It's probably gonna be a pretty quiet day. We have Apple is still up 1%. Amazon is still trending at 0.53%. So guys, if there's no questions or any stocks you guys want to take a look at, I am going to go work on a video. I actually wanted to do a video on Netflix versus Disney since ARK Investment just bought them. I just want to see which one I think is a better buy at these moments. Which one do you guys like, either Disney or Netflix right now? Just want to see what the overall consensus is between those two stocks. But yeah, that video, I already got the information. I personally already have my decision of which one I enjoy the most right now. Gordon, Netflix, yeah. I mean, Netflix has been super quiet, right? Like we saw in the charts, super quiet for the past few days. EE is going with Netflix as well. I don't know. And now I forgot which one I picked. I feel like I picked Netflix, but I think I chose Disney instead. But I'll definitely, that video should be out in the next few hours. Guys, thank you so much for the support. I'll see you again tomorrow. And remember, if you guys have any stocks, if you guys find any stocks over the next 24 hours, write them down and we can take a quick look at them here. So take care, guys. Have a good day and see you tomorrow. So everybody